In 5:15 it continues, Si they apolevsi prostus patera su met Irenes. But you shall go forth to your pateras, paternal, your fathers, paternal being the derivative, with Irenes, Irene, peace. And we get the word Irene, the name Irene. Taphis, being entombed, and Gira, Kalo. There's three more derivatives. Taphis, a cenotaph, is a monument that's up memorializing a person that is dead without their body actually being in that spot. And Gira, gerontology, geriatrics, that should be underlined. And Kalo, a kaleidoscope, kala, is good. All derivatives. 16. Tetarti the genea apostrophizonte odi. And the fourth genea, generation, you can see the similarities, shall return here. Upogar anapeplironte e amartie ton amoreon eos tunin. For not yet have the sins of the Amorites been filled up unto the present. And the Amorites were dwelling around the Dead Sea. They were all considered the Canaanites in some places as synonymous. 17. Ipe they o Elios, ageneto pros themas, flox ageneto. And when the Elios, the sun, was in descent, a flame came, phlox. We have the phlox plant. It has to do with a flame looking. Ke idhu klivanos kapnizomenos. And behold, there was an oven smoking. Ke lampadas pyros e diilthon anameson ton dichotomimaton tuton. And there were lamps of fire which went through in the midst of these pieces, these lamps of fire. We see them next in Exodus 20:18. We'll go to there. And it says, all the people perceived the voice and the lamps, the lampadas, and the sound of the trumpet, and the mountain smoking. This was on Mount Sinai. Gideon and Samson both used lamps, and Gideon with in the pitchers and the breaking them, and Samson between the tails of the foxes. Then in Ezekiel 1:13, we come to the next one description, and in the midst of the living creatures was a vision as of coals of fire burning, very similar. Os, as the appearance of lampadas, of lamps twisting in the midst of the living creatures. So now they're in the midst of the living creatures before they were on Mount Sinai. Then, next place we see these is in Daniel 10:6, and his body, this being, man, clothed in white linen, was as Tharsis stone, in his face as a sight of lightning, and his eyes as lampadas of fire, and his arms and legs as a sight of brass shining. So, but this is like it, so I'm not sure if it's exactly the same thing, but for sure the next one is, and that's in Revelations 4:5 and 7. And from out of the throne went forth lightnings and voices and thunders, just as on Mount Sinai. And 7 lamps, lampadas, of fire were burning before his throne, which are 7 spirits of God. So here we see what they actually are. The spirit, probably one of the spirits of God, whatever that is, in the form of the Spirit coming down to these pieces. And then in verse 18 it says, Enti imera akini, diethato Kyrios, diathikin to Avram. And in that day the Lord ordained a covenant with Abram. So now there's a covenant with Noah, now a covenant with Abram, saying, Legon, to spermati su thoso tingin tavtin. To your seed, singular, I will give this land. Apo tu potamu, Aegyptu eos tu potamu tu megalu, Ephratu. From the river, the Potamu, we have a Potomac River in Washington, D.C. It means river, river. of Egypt, the Nile, and to the river of the great Euphrates, which swings up. It goes over to east of Israel and goes along the border of Iran, and then it swings up and comes across through Syria. And he's giving them this land. It doesn't say to the Jews, it's to Abram. The Jewish people come a little bit later with his grandson. The tus Keneus, ketus Kenazeus, ketus Kedmoneus, and then the Kenites, the Kenizzites, and the Cadmonites, ketus Hetteus, ketus Phariseus, ketus Rephaim, the Hittites and the Perizzites and the Rephaim. Ketus Amoreus, ketu Hananeus, ketus Gergeseus, ketus Eavuseus, and the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Girgashites and the Jebusites. And the Jebusites were the ones that dwelt Jebus, which was Salem, and later Jerusalem. So the 15th chapter of Genesis. I hope you will join us for the next chapter, the 16th, and God bless.